All right, welcome back to the show. One last thing before we get out of here. Tom Brady, I know we mentioned him at the beginning of the show where his house was broken into, and that sucks. But check this out. Some good news for Tom Brady. He got himself a new toy, right, Babcock?
Yeah, he got himself a beautiful 44-foot yacht. He picked this thing up late last week. We are told this is a multi-million-dollar yacht. It looks like something from the future. Like saying it's a boat doesn't do it justice. Now Tom has it at his very own private yacht.
No. Babcock. You know what rich people call a boat like that?
What?
They call it a sleek watercraft.
A sleek watercraft.
That's right. That's what that is. I mean, look at that thing. I mean, that looks like the stealth bomber
very
on water.
Jetsons-esque.
It is.
So what we're talking about? That's got to be a multi-million-dollar ship.
Yeah. So I'm told that this thing usually goes about $3.5–4 million. So it's steep price.
Look, Tom Brady. You know, we mentioned that LeBron James signed a 2-year, $85 million extension. Tom Brady's in the middle of a 2-year, $50 million deal with the Bucks, and he's made more than $200 million in NFL contracts alone. So if the guy wants to go out and buy himself like a boat, good. Go get the boat. You know, you deserve it. You work hard, you should be able to enjoy it. By the way, what's the relevance of the name on the boat?
So Giselle, his wife, actually has an initiative where she's planting over 200,000 trees in the rainforest. And so they named the boat after that initiative. So it has some meaning to it, too.
So smart.
Viva.
That's great marketing. Great marketing. Let me drive the boat.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. One of us is connected to get on that boat. And it's Renee, because Renee is now Twitter buddies with LeBron James, who's real buddies with Tom Brady. So I'm holding out hope that one day you get on the boat and you can tell us what it's like.
Let me drive the boat.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Evan. Babcock's here.
What's up, guys?
2-time WNBA champion Renee Montgomery.
Hello there.
All right, look, you've played all over the world, Renee, so I feel like you can relate to this video here. Manny Ramirez, who made the All-Star team 8 times during his run as a Boston Red Sox, is now playing ball in Australia. And he's down there, and he was at a restaurant along with a hitting coach named Rachel Balkovec. And they went to a restaurant, and in Australia, in Sydney, as a matter of fact, they saw a man wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. So Manny, being Manny, you know, he's got an outgoing kind of fun personality, decided he was going to approach this dude and try to have a conversation to see if the guy recognized him, because most people who are Boston Red Sox fans, I feel like, recognize Manny Ramirez.
Evan, I correction. Anyone who is an actual Red Sox fan would know Manny Ramirez. He's one of the greatest players ever.
So Rachel was recording as Manny tried to kind of casually walk up to this guy in a restaurant who was wearing the Red Sox hat, and it did not go as Manny had planned. And what ended up happening, I think, is pretty hilarious. Watch this.
Nice hat. Can I ask you a question? Who's your favorite player?
Nice. What?
No. Nice hat.
Yeah, what Manny was trying to do was he was trying to be like, hey, guess what? Like, I'm Manny Ramirez. Like, you're a Red Sox fan. I'm Manny. This is a cool moment, right? And what happened was the guy in the hat was like, why are you bothering me? His question. And then he kind of blew him off.
This would be like the equivalent of a Red Sox fan not knowing that the Red Sox played at Fenway Park. Honestly, Manny Ramirez is one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time, not of the 20th century ever. The guy hit 555 home runs. It's inconceivable to me that a Red Sox fan would not know who Manny Ramirez is. Therefore, this guy is no Red Sox fan.
Unbelievable. Could he just like the hat? I mean, that could be the thing. Let's not even classify him as a fan, because that's unacceptable behavior. But it's hilarious that he really thought he was going to go catch a moment. I actually played in Australia, by the way. I played in Canberra, but this is like one of my worst fears, in a sense of, if somebody like wants me to be the surprise, and I'm like, surprise, it's me. And everybody's like, yeah, who are you? Like, that is literally like a realistic fear. And so it happened to him. Now that I know it's not as embarrassing, he still posted it and he didn't have to. It's hilarious because he's famous.
But yeah, look, I mean, you don't know why that dude was wearing the Red Sox hat. Maybe he just liked the letter B. Maybe his name was Bob. I don't know. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Controversy in the NFL. Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns has been nominated for the NFL's Walter Payton Man of the Year Award for 2020. for all of the work he's done off the field and also his greatness on the field over the past year. You know, he's been a great player. Off the field, he's done a lot. He's done a lot of charity work, a lot of giving back to the community. But there are a lot of people who were upset with the fact that he was nominated because it's only been a year since that famous incident where he took a helmet and swung it at the head of Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph. Everybody remembers that. That happened in November 2019. Here we are. It's a little over a year later. Remember, he was suspended for the rest of the season. So at this point last year, he was serving a suspension for that incident. And now here we are in December 2020. And, you know, the way it works in the NFL is one player from each team is nominated for the award, and then ultimately the NFL chooses the one person who receives the award. So the Browns nomination is Myles Garrett. And there are some people who say that despite all of the good things he's done in the community, right now we know he works with the Chris Long Foundation, which helps get clean water to East African communities. We know that he was involved with medical care of a man who lost his eye at a Black Lives Matter protest in Cleveland back in May. He was personally involved in making sure that that man got proper and adequate health care. He's done a lot of other stuff as well, but there are people who are saying that the fact that he was involved in this violent incident last year, he should not have been the Browns nominee in 2020. So I put this to you guys, you know, where are you guys? What do you guys think about this? Fair or not fair?
My first initial thought is I just know in the athletic world, a lot of times the biggest name gets the more recognition. So sometimes teams might just go with the biggest name. So I don't know what all the players were doing on the team, but if what they're saying is a lot of players were doing a lot of things and this guy, he last year he was involved in this, and just some people might think he's doing PR damage. You know, I think that's kind of what people might be getting at, where you get in a big altercation, everyone knows, you've seen a celebrity do it, they start donating to charity, you see them at hospitals, they're trying to get their name back. So if that is the case, it's tough, but the stuff that he did is real. So I will say, you know, helping someone at the protest, that's a real thing. He really changed somebody's life. So I always want to show love to the stuff he's doing in general. That's how I would say.
Yeah, and the one thing I would say, prior to this incident, the one thing you always heard about Myles Garrett was how active he was in the community and how helpful he was and how he was very charitable. So I don't think he's doing it to save his reputation. I think he just cares about helping people. Now, with that said, when he swung that helmet, he had bad intentions. And by nothing but pure luck, he didn't hurt or even kill Mason Rudolph. That's how big and strong Myles is as a person. So if that had played out a little bit differently, he could be sitting in a prison cell right now. Like that's very possible. Furthermore, after the incident, Myles Garrett said that Mason Rudolph said the N-word. I've talked to Mason's agent, and he has told me personally about how this has really hurt Mason to such a degree where it's changed the perspective. It's changed the way people look at him. That doesn't go away. And Myles Garrett can go help 365 days a year. He has permanently altered Mason Rudolph's reputation. That doesn't sit right with me. So yes, while he's helping, and great, I applaud him for that. This is more than a small bump last year. The ramifications from that incident are still being felt by people who were involved.
I want to point out, Babcock, I just want to kind of add to that when Myles Garrett made the allegation that Mason Rudolph had used a racial slur, and that's what kind of led to the helmet attack, that was never the league investigated that and never found evidence to corroborate his story. And Mason Rudolph has adamantly denied that, which makes your point about how he said it was an unfair and untrue allegation that has hurt him in his personal life off the field. So I just wanted to add some context to that.
Right,
Renee,
and that stuff doesn't go away. And that doesn't go away. That's stuff that sticks with you forever. And that bothers me. So yes, two things can be true at one time. Great that Myles is doing all this charity. I don't know if right now, so soon after what happened last year, he needs to be nominated and propped up as Mother Teresa. I think it's too soon.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. My name's Evan, along with Michael J. Babcock.
What's up?
Renee Montgomery.
Hello there.
Everybody knows I'm obsessed with the sports cards right now and the sports card market. And now there was another crazy story. A Wayne Gretzky rookie card just sold for $1.3 million at auction. It is the highest price ever for a hockey card.
By far.
No other hockey card had even sold for over $1 million before. So this shattered the record. It was at auction at Heritage Auctions. And Babcock, tell us about this card and why it's so special.
Right. So this is an O-Pee-Chee card, Evan, which, if you haven't heard of that, it's basically like the Canadian brand of Topps.
Right.
And it's an ultra rare card. When it comes to the price of these things, obviously the condition of the card means the world. And this was graded a perfect 10, gem, mint condition, which is why, again, like you said, it sold for $1.29 million when no other hockey card had ever even reached $1 million before.
Right. So on that note, the reason that this card is so rare to have the grading is the reason why it's so rare, because there are very few that are perfect 10. And the reason for that is that when O-Pee-Chee made the cards back in the day, they didn't use a blade to like slice the card into the card that you see right now. They used wire, and it was a huge problem because a lot of the cards were cut badly and the corners are wrecked. So when these Wayne Gretzky cards, people thought they had, a mint condition card, they got graded. The grading system, most cards got 9s or lower because to get a 10, the corners have to be exactly perfect. And there are, I think there's only a handful of perfect 10s known to exist in the world. And so when one went on the auction block, the hardcore super collectors, they jumped right in and they were like, wow, that's a 10. That is insanely rare. And the bidding war was on. $1.3 million. That's for a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, that blows my mind. Like every time we cover one of these things, I'm like, do I have to go and buy cards? Like, do I need to get into the card business? This is blowing my mind. I need to call Panini. Do they make cards? What's going on? Because like a lot of people are cashing out. I don't know how much they originally paid for it, but to get 1.3 million, obviously they made a profit. Like unbelievable.
Yeah. Update, by the way, there are only 2 of these Wayne Gretzky cards in existence with a perfect 10 rating, by the way. So that's why this is such a valuable card. By the way, I watched a live stream of some guy last night opening baseball. He spent $10,000 on some high-end basketball cards.
Did he get anything big?
Nothing. It was like watching him set $10,000 on fire. So I know we've been doing a lot of these stories about how people have been hitting it big, but you can also miss big. So beware.
Thank you for that reality check, because I was thinking about it.
Me too.